Hi, yes, well, here it is, the final product. Bigfoot here. This took a lot longer than normal. Most of the footage was captured, and you'll see in this video, a lot of it got lost when my phone, which I was using for a camera, died, and I didn't realize because I was too deep in the documentary while I was painting. So, that just happened. Life happens, art happens. Here we are. So this is all acrylic on a canvas. It's about an inch deep. I'm really loving this style. It's actually a recreation of another painting that I did, a much smaller one that I'm kind of using as the study. And this whole video is the process of how I made this. Before I get to that, though, I'm going to do a little commercial. There'll be another commercial later in the video. But don't worry, it's not actually for a sponsor. We don't have those. But I do have this. The Strange Offering Sticker Club is the easiest way for you to support what I'm doing, and money goes to basically pay for paint, and mostly, really, it's so I take less of a loss on these stickers. Right now, the economics of this is that I spend more on making the stickers than I get from the sticker Patreon, and that's okay. That feeds my monthly sticker habit. So this month's pack is all about money, 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 because that's what I'm concerned about now, especially with the government. It comes with one shiny Dave dollar, one regular Dave dollar, a delightful little pigeon dollar, and a death dollar, because that's kind of an ongoing theme in a lot of my artwork. But if you would like to support this show and this channel, that's the best way to do it. Go to patreon.com/Lamort, or you can go to my website, davidlamort.com. Thank you especially to my YouTube patron, Brian. You know who you are, Brian B. Thank you again. And all my supporters on Patreon are the best, and they're art lovers, and they're keeping this channel and these paintings alive. So, I'm going to try and recreate this style of Bigfoot on this giant canvas I received at the Metuchen Pop Festival. Metuchen Pop Fest later last year in the spring. Might be doing the next one, still have to figure out my calendar. But they gave me this canvas. I kind of did a very quick and dirty Jersey Devil. Wasn't really crazy about it. Not really my style. I usually take a lot longer to do something. This takes a little while, so doing something this big, it should take 20 times. I have no idea. You'll find out, I guess. So I'm going to try and recreate this kind of painterly style with these almost like a trashy Van Gogh style. Hopefully I'm not going to have to redub this. I don't really know how the audio is going to sound because I'm not using the regular mic. Let's use the regular mic. All right, I'm going to try and lay this out. I might have to speed through some of this, and I apologize for the sound quality. I have to charge the phone while I'm doing this, so, you know, every video is a new experiment.
Well, I'm going to be doing the voiceover with an actual microphone, so that should solve most of this issue. This whole video has been a real struggle, not because of the painting. The painting was the easy part. This was a few hours of video that I had to keep speeding up, and there's a limit on how much you can speed up your videos in iMovie on the iPad, so I had to keep, processing it and then speeding things up and then processing and speeding up, blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't matter. We're here, and I'm so excited. So right now I'm just laying the undercoat, the tones that go underneath all the painting, and I kind of wanted a similar color between the face and the background. So if you're not already privy to it, I'm making a Bigfoot here, and I wanted to really mess around with layering the paint and using the paint, but not necessarily, almost a little bit like kind of staccato, kind of like my own version of pointillism. I mean, this is nothing. I'm not really reinventing the wheel or anything. This is very kind of Billy Lilly inspired in some ways, but I had this old painting I really, really enjoyed, and I did this kind of like brush stroke painting where I didn't necessarily blend all the colors constantly, and I really loved how that came out. So this piece is basically going to be a recreation of that. Now, a lot of times when I'm painting, itself is an experiment, but when you first lay down the first few colors, the undertones, the underpainting, if you will, the underpainting is the stuff you do to kind of mess with the surface so that you're not starting from scratch when you're adding all the little details. It's really, really important to really set up the underpainting as successfully as possible, because although you could always paint over stuff, it's better to do everything right the first time than having to go back in and fix your mistakes. And yes, that is foreshadowing for when I have to completely fix my mistakes. But so here you see the kind of the layering I'm doing. So my goal with this kind of brush stroke technique was to kind of recreate the feel of a forest or a jungle while utilizing the brush strokes themselves, and it is an incredibly laborious process. I mean, maybe for a more, I don't know, more patient painter, this wouldn't be so annoying. Although I by the end of this painting, I learned a lot of it, but at this point, I'm like, oh my god, where am I going to put all these little stripes? So it's not quite pointillism, because pointillism really kind of uses dots and then kind of blends them together, almost like a similar in a way to like old school newspaper printing. But what I'm trying to do is kind of layer the colors, so each of the colors will still kind of show, but your eye from any, you know, normal distance will kind of like blend them together, kind of taking advantage, almost like Expressionist, kind of like Van Gogh-esque, with a heavy emphasis on the esque, because I am no Vincent Van Gogh. So, but you know, whatever, one can try. And so I'm kind of keeping the outside colors kind of tropical. And then here you can see where I made the mistake. I kind of broke down at this point, not emotionally. I mean, I just kind of, I hit a Rubicon. I don't know how to describe this without making it sound dramatic, because it's really not dramatic. Sometimes when you're painting, you realize you are going in the wrong direction. And the sooner you realize it, the sooner you can fix it. And so I kind of started over with the Bigfoot. Actually, I think it probably was, I don't know, this peach color, or this is kind of like my own version of like a Tuscan yellow. Like, basically, it's like the skin tone of most Italian people, you know. It's like my favorite color to paint. It is a way better base for this Bigfoot, because I found it's I don't know, I've been trying to do like light to dark lately, because it's harder to see some of these lighter colors on top of stuff. Although I do like how the pink kind of works. Trying to use opposite colors, pink and green, you know, red and green are opposites, and pink is just a shade of red, to kind of pull out some of these colors later on, and then eventually I'll jump right back into that Bigfoot again. I was always taught that you got to put a little bit of the other colors that you're using in the objects when you're painting them. I don't know how true that necessarily is. If you spend any time with painters in general, they're real color nerds, and I just I just pretend to be a color nerd. I really don't care so much about it. I'm more about line and shape. But I'm really trying to embrace this like painterly, this style where you're really kind of focusing and you can still see the brushstrokes. So I thought I might as well build up the foundation of Bigfoot, considering he's going to be in this green field of color. I might as well add a little green to him here. Although, excuse me, I probably should have used a much thicker brush. But, you live and learn. Because I'll end up covering all of these up again. But, yeah, I'm still really happy that I decided to change gears with Bigfoot when I did. I think it made the whole thing much more successful. And you can start to even notice that the colors green I'm using are a lot different. I'm trying to really spread them out and play with tones and shades and tints and variations. This is more of a yellowy green. Kind of blend out some of that yellow because it's a little intense. And as Steve Powers says, no one ever really wants to buy a yellow painting. So these yellow brush strokes are going to kind of be like the tints, almost like the excuse me, I don't know why I'm coughing. I think it's just the way I'm sitting. Like the old school, like Renaissance level of Renaissance technique of using glazes with oils. I'm just kind of referencing that, I guess, or at least trying to do something similar with these yellows. To me, the hardest part of this whole project is trying to document what I'm doing, and then while also like trying to stay in the moment of being an actual painter. In some ways, like the video you're watching and the painting itself are two separate projects, but I'm in many ways they're kind of the same. But you'll notice probably right after the commercial that's going to be coming up soon, there's some lost footage because as I'm trying to engross myself in either listening to something, I think I might have been watching definitely not on this one because I lost the footage. When I was watching this alien documentary called Love and Rockets. But I mean, I guess it's a good thing that I kind of got lost in what I was doing. At least shows that I'm at least I still care about the process. So you'll also notice something. This is not really a black. This is actually a deep blue. I wanted to try and I didn't really necessarily want to use black to do the outlines on Bigfoot at this point. I was trying to keep like a tropical tone and really kind of mess around with the colors, but at a certain point I think I lost my nerve and then had to go back and go over these blue lines. But you see, at least there's evidence that I tried, and here I am lightening his face so that we can give him some details. At this point, you can kind of see he's starting to really get a personality. Kind of experimenting with some of the colors. A lot of this I'm going to end up going over anyway, but I do really want to try and, like, here I'm really trying to capture the lights and darks. I'm really trying to model the face, which is a fancy artist way of saying I'm trying to make it look three-dimensional. Not so much with the colors of Bigfoot's coat. I'm definitely still trying to stay as light as possible right now. But more than anything, I'm trying to keep it light so that I can add more colors on top of it. I think I posted a picture of this online and everyone was like, oh, it's the Yeti. I was like, oh, it's definitely not the Yeti, but I see what you're saying. You know, again, painting is always about trusting the process. So here, I actually had to cut out a bunch of the parts where I'm like mixing paint because it's not really even really on camera, but like this is at the point where I'm starting to really focus on what I'm doing, and we had some technical issues, and I had to cut some stuff out, which is why we're going to have a commercial break very soon. Just a commercial for our sponsor here, which is you, the patrons on Patreon, the Strange Offering Sticker Club. I'm going to play a short little commercial because this is the point where I was paying too much attention to the audio of the documentary I was watching and not enough to the camera behind me. The Strange Offering Sticker Club is a monthly sticker subscription service where you get a themed pack of stickers in your mailbox at the beginning of each month. Some are timely, some are just plain goofy. These are really designed for the art lover in your life, the collector in your life, anyone who likes weird and strange things they can't find anywhere else. Go to patreon.com/Lamort to find out more. But here, we're at the real turning point of this whole video. The costume change. I think I think when I was videoing and the phone died without me realizing that might have been the turning point in the painting. But as you can tell, I'm no longer wearing my painting shirt and jeans. Actually, this painting was done over a course of a week. No. 7 days, but not necessarily in a row. And the last day, I'm in my new coveralls that I kind of got inspired by Butter Roll from Jersey City, one of my fellow Smush Gallery artists, who's now part of the 14C studio program. He always has, like, coveralls or overalls that have like a message painted on them when he's at a gallery opening for his show. And he kind of uses them as both a canvas and a costume. And I was thinking to myself, I should get something like that to help protect my clothes while I'm working, so I can just kind of throw them over instead of having to change all the time into my painting clothes. And so I'm looking at I went out to Dickies.com. I'm looking at the overalls, and I thought, oh, this goes overall, but maybe I want to really cover all. Hence why I got the coveralls. And of course, because I am quickly going gray. Although, I don't know, my kids always say I think about it too much, but my beard is definitely grayer than my hair. But I always jokingly call myself Gandalf the Gray in private because my beard is like weirdly gray and scraggly all the time, and so I thought gray was a good color. Now, Jason, he will often paint images and slogans on his painting attire. I think I might embroider these eventually. But for now, they're going to be work clothes. I gotta give them a little bit of a patina. I gotta put a little spice on these. I gotta put some dirt in my sandwich. Or I'm mixing metaphors, of course. Is kind of what I do. But I'm really excited to have this like new kind of like work uniform. It kind of gets me in a different mindset. But this is going to be the last time you hear from me. At this point, I'm going to kind of wrap up the voiceover so you can really kind of enjoy the end of the painting. But yeah, please do all the liking and subscribing on youtube.com Every little bit helps. Recommend this to your friends. Go over to davidlamort.com. As you know, Facebook and Instagram and TikTok get more fashy, I like to keep my options open, and I kind of think this whole like documenting what I'm doing on video is an interesting new angle to all these projects. So yeah, and definitely check out the Patreon, because if you're watching this on the Patreon, you're watching this at least a few days before everyone else gets to watch it. So thanks a lot, and please stay subscribed.